straight to YouTube.
Yeah. Notification. All right. What's going on, guys? We are live here on the Instagram and on YouTube. In a second here. Okay, here we are. Getting this shit rolling. Okay.
There we go.
Beautiful. All
There
right.
we go.
So, in this live, we are going to be talking about Whitney's chart. So, Whitney is a friend of mine here in Las Vegas. If you guys live in Las Vegas, definitely go check out the Rec Room. Those guys are representing for the training down there. Some hardcore chicks, I'll tell you. So, Whitney, thanks for coming and hanging out, and doing this with me. So, we've been talking about life, right? Kind of life is like a big topic for discussion right now. And a lot of people are looking for guidance, for direction, for understanding, like, okay, with all this smorgasbord of shit going on in the world right now, what do we do and how do we navigate it? So that is the purpose of my Chiron reading that I do for people. And we're going to go into her energies and see, if I can help give her a little bit of clarity and guidance. That was a very cute, cheesy smile right there. So without further ado, let's get into the chart. If you are on YouTube, I'm going to be pulling up the chart here. If you're on Instagram, you can go to my YouTube, Spiritual Bodybuilder, and check it out over there too. Okay. So let's see here.
Slightly nervous.
Why are you nervous?
This is like getting
real personal.
Yeah.
It's definitely gonna be a little personal.
And if you all know anything about me, I don't like getting deep into the feels.
Okay, so right off the bat, we're looking at your natal chart here, and we have a yod. Okay, a yod is known as the finger of God. So your soul came into this lifetime and agreed to carry this burden with you.
Okay.
Right, and it's really interesting that you had open heart surgery when you were 3 years old. Because whenever there's like a heavy Chiron placement, and this is a heavy Chiron placement because it is the learning lesson aspect of this energy. Basically, these two quincunxes, the energy is like sort of like a gnat that flies around. You can't really, it's there. You can't, and every now and then it comes up out of nowhere and it teaches you a lesson, right? Yeah. But then you don't know, you can never quite catch it, you can never quite feel it. Mm-hmm. And it's frustrating as hell, right? So there's always this looming feeling deep inside you of frustration. What am I meant to do? What do I want? What am I here for? Mm-hmm. And that question is very dominant in just in the collective right now. For you, it's super dominant. So it's also connected to Pluto and Neptune. So Pluto is a planet of transformation and rebirth. It's death. It's harsh. It's harsh. So with Pluto in your fourth house, how is your home and family like growing up?
It's good.
It was good? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Were you close with your mom and dad?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up playing soccer. Yeah, I mean, soccer was my religion growing up. That's what I like to joke about. But yeah, mom and dad are great. Dad passed away. It'll be 5 years ago from cancer. But yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
I have a great relationship with my mom. Great relationship with her sister. My older brother, half brother, he committed suicide about 10 years ago. But other than that, like.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Okay. That's interesting. So you have the South Node, Saturn, and Pluto here in your fourth house. With this yod, Pluto in the fourth house represents like you feeling this need or desire to go to your roots, like learn your ancestry, learn like where you come from. Mm-hmm. Not just from your parents and your grandparents, but even like further back than that. Like why am I the way that I am?
Yeah.
Right. Where do I come from? Where does the being in me stem from? It's like, it's kind of like, you're always asking yourself, like, what is life?
Yeah.
And I mean, that in of itself, like, well, wouldn't everybody like to know, right? And that's an individual journey, but for you, it's something that will never leave you alone.
Yeah, I always like want to know why. Like,
Right. So let me ask you something. Have you ever gone through a period of your life where you had what I call a tower moment? Everything kind of crumbled and you came back out of it and you were a different person?
I think I'm having that right now.
Having that right now. Okay. So usually that type of experience is what this energy is all about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because up to a certain point in our life, we're living our life from this conditioning that we learned through our environment. The behavior in the environment is what taught us how to be who we are. But then we get to a point where we're like, this ain't me.
Yeah.
I'm more than this. I know that there's more to life than this. So I need to figure this shit out. Right. And we get to that point, we start to question everything. We start to question who we are. If we're in a relationship, we start to question that. If we, do I really enjoy this? Do I really want to do that? Like, how do I make money? How do I survive? How do I go to the next level? And this is where this is going to make you have to really dig into this chirotic energy. Good thing you have Mars conjunct your North Node in your 10th house, which means that the universe is sort of pulling you like a puppet on a string through this process in your energy so that you will eventually hit that threshold where you're like, it's what I'm doing, this is where I'm at, let's go. Right. But Chiron in the 11th house is a crisis over the possibility of playing a unique role in culture. It's all about giving a creative gift during your lifetime to this world. And this is a crisis over creativity and idealism. And creativity is synonymous with Kundalini. Are you familiar with Kundalini energy?
The phrase, but I don't really know anything.
Okay. So Kundalini energy is our life force energy. It is also our sexual energy. Okay. And that is usually everyone in their lifetime goes through a process where they suppress that energy, or they're overactive, or they're imbalanced in some kind of way. So learning how to process and navigate this type of energy is where we find the solution to the blockages. And then learning how to ground it out through the Saturn energy is where we learn how to work with it to keep it perpetual. Okay. So the key for you ultimately, okay, is learning to detach and let go of whatever things are going on in life. Okay. Because ultimately, whatever is happening, it's almost like you're going to go through these like phases, right? Like every 7 to 10 years, you're literally going to shed a skin, you're going to become a whole brand new person, and you're going to want to do new things, experience new things, see new things, feel new things, and it's going to culminate after a while. But when you get attached to needing to understand, needing to know, needing to figure it out, needing to feel some kind of way, needing to have this certain experience, needing to know where you're going, that is what can keep you stuck in these old cycles and not move on to the new ones.
Like overthinking everything.
Yes. I mean, thought is being outside of the heart.
Yeah.
Right. So we have to come back to the heart and get a feel. So for you, feeling into your vision of what you're meant to be is very important, but that feeling is going to be incredibly vulnerable, because the vision it may feel like impossible. It may feel like, I don't even know what to do. I don't even know where it is. It's elusive. It's like a fleeting, like, I know something's there, but where the fuck do I go to get it?
Yeah.
And you keep searching and going and trying these new things. But as long as you keep doing that, you're just going to drive yourself crazy. The key here, okay, is to take a step back and go within. And being an athlete and, kind of, especially living in the city of Las Vegas, this is a go, go, go town. That makes it difficult, to say the least. All right. But the universe is going to conspire to bring it to a point where you really don't have a choice.
Yeah.
You're going to have to let go. You're going to have to just let it be okay and detach. But, you know, healthy detachment is actually a good thing. Healthy detachment allows us to observe like what we're thinking, what we're feeling. And this is all internal for you. This is all in your head, all like, you know, trying to figure out what's going on, looking at what's next, looking at these things. You need to instead look at what, listen to what feels right, as opposed to looking to what looks right.
Yeah.
Right. If you go into something and you're not super like, let's fucking go, because you're a super passionate woman. Right. And unless you're super passionate about it, you're kind of like, and you're not going to make any money doing it. Okay, because your energy is powerful. So because this is a very specifically channel energy. So some people can do what they don't like to do, and they can still do pretty well. You can't do that. If your energy is not really feeling it, you're just gonna it's almost like, you know, you're just pushing away any kind of abundance, right? Self-sabotage, exactly. So this is where it's really, really important for you to listen to what you're feeling and allow the vulnerability of that feeling to be okay. Because that vulnerability is where all your answers are. And once you allow yourself to go into that and you let yourself feel that sort of scary, vulnerable, powerful, like, this is who the fuck I am, and this is how I'm going to change the world kind of attitude, until you get there, like, you're just, everything's going to be sort of mediocre. Okay, but this is the process. This is the path of what I like to call the great ones. Okay, like the more, and I'm in the same boat with you. Okay, like, probably gone through a lot of shit. All right. You go through a lot of shit because you end up having to learn all these lessons, because, you know, in this age of Pisces, we have been dualistic beings, meaning that in order to know love, you have to know pain. Right? In order to know happiness, you have to know sadness. And so we typically can experience really deep, hard hitting pain. Right? But on the same token, we can experience really powerful, high hitting happiness. But but up until this point, it seemed like it's been fleeting, or it seemed like it's been imbalanced.
Well, yeah, I don't like feeling sad. I always joke, if I'm sad about something, I get mad that I get sad, and I get mad that I'm mad about the sadness.
Oof.
It's really helpful.
So underneath all that little game that you're playing, that's actually guilt and shame. Okay, so that's where we have to go into this, like, I feel bad for feeling bad, or it's not right, or these are the value systems that we have structured from our experiences in life. Mm-hmm. And these value systems, they have to be disabled in order to be able to build a new structure, right? We have to, and Pluto in your fourth house is about the foundation, and with the South Node here, this is about letting go, but this is also where you can get stuck. Okay, Saturn and Pluto are very, like, rock solid, stubborn as fuck. Like, nope, I don't know what to do, but I got to do it like this.
That's 100% me.
Right?
That's so me.
Yeah, so you have to embrace this Uranian energy right here in your fifth house. And the Uranus energy is different, but you have Jupiter in Aquarius in your seventh house. So are you in a relationship? No? Okay. So when you do finally unlock this part of yourself, and you're vibrating at this more abundant frequency, because I'm definitely seeing pretty soon something's going to happen and skyrocket.
I mean, the only thing I'm focused on right now is that financial abundance. Relationship right now is the last thing I'm thinking about.
The ironic thing is once you do find that person that's going to complement you, you guys are going to fucking create the world together. That's what your soul is geared towards. That's what it's designed to do. Okay, so we're going to go and see what's going on right now.
Interesting.
Okay, so good news. is that your Jupiter here is in your 6th house. So your day-to-day structure is on fire. It's easy. It's effortless. You're making shit happen. You're creating things. Okay. But in your life purpose, this Chiron is conjunct your Mercury. So first, you are very connected to the collective unconsciousness. Okay. Like you can feel everything.
Yeah.
You can actually literally feel like the electricity moving through people's bodies. But if you're not connected to your own, you will be able to feel others in response to what you are feeling within yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and right now, your North Node is conjunct your Sun and Black Moon Lilith. That's interesting. So Black Moon Lilith is sort of like the jaded side chick, right? She's the one that's like, I want it all. I want it now. Fuck you. I'm gonna do it my way. I'm gonna get my shit. Very dominant, very rebellious. It's your rebellious, dominant sexual energy.
Interesting.
Okay, and being in Taurus is all about the physical body.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and it's in the 9th house, which has to do with your belief systems and long distance travel. Actually, so traveling can also mean like astral travel or like metaphysical travel. Okay, but this is about you becoming a master of yourself in regards to your belief systems. But with Black Moon Lilith there, that can sort of bring in some tricks, some tests, some energy of temptation that will make you question whether you're making the right decision or not in certain situations.
Makes sense.
Okay, almost like, like that goes sort of into the world of being taboo. Like, okay, well, this client maybe is going to give you like 10 grand, but he wants you to do some really weird kinky shit that, you're just not okay with. And, like, so you can manipulate him and like, take his money and be like, sorry about your luck, dude. Or you can give it to him, or you can tell him to go fuck himself. Right. But each decision is going to bring with it its own set of learned lessons and experiences. All right. This is about what you believe to be right, just, fair. This is about your value systems. This is about really who you choose to be in regards to who you are. Now with that, we have Chiron here in the 10th house. So this is your mission is your greatest vulnerability. Your mission in life, it's like the universe is trying to put this big crown on your head, but you don't want to take it. Because with putting this crown on your head, it requires a type or amount of responsibility that you don't want to take on.
Yeah. So
what is it, that thing that you don't want to take on?
That's the question of the day. I just like to answer that question without answering it. It's just not wanting to hurt people. Like, if I take that on, what if I hurt someone?
Just the way that you said that tells me everything that I need to know.
Oh, shit.
You're not even willing to look at it.
No. What if I hurt someone?
So take a step back from that and look at just the thought process in that.
It's fear.
Fear of what?
Failure.
What are you going to fail at?
I don't know. Life.
Failing at life. Let's go a little more specific than that.
I guess what I'm currently doing. I mean, it's like I've said it before. I know I won't fail as long as I commit. I do it. But then there's always that fear of failure. And I know if I
you won't fail unless you commit and do it. But there's always, so that right there is saying two opposing things together.
I know. Makes no sense.
So you're lying to yourself.
Maybe.
No, definitely.
Okay.
You are lying to yourself. Okay, you have to acknowledge these things within yourself. Okay. So first you have to, accept and recognize that you are lying to yourself, that the universe has this big crown for you, but you don't want it.
Yet.
There is no yet. It's either yes or no. Present moment right now.
Yes, I want it. Yes.
Yes, you want it.
Yes, I want it. I want it.
If you want it, then why don't you have it?
Just gotta put in the work. Or believe it. It's like what I tell my clients, you gotta believe it. There's one thing in saying it, and then one thing believing it.
Okay. Let me go into this real quick. Chiron in the 10th house signifies a crisis about manifesting true purpose on the earth plane. The 10th house is pragmatic and is the essence of bringing matter into form. The 11th house is idealistic and limitless and is the essence of stretching ourselves to the highest potential gifting. The 10th house will always be a driven house because that is where we get the planetary juice, but only becomes a sacred power if we are prepared to give it all away in the 11th. This native is not seeking power for power's sake, but seeking power for release to Uranus. They have authority, although they may be trying not to take it. They possess power, although it may stir conflict in their being. Basically, they wear a mantle of power, and only solution for them is to accept their power. The more these natives identify their own power expression and live it out, the better they will feel. So we have to look at the Saturnian energy and the Uranian energy, the Chiron energy. So here, Saturn is in your third house. All right. This is, do you have any siblings?
Older sister.
Older sister. And then your brother
Yeah,
that committed
brother.
suicide.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there is something that you have to let go about your brother here.
Yeah. That's a little bit too deep. We can't get into that, but yeah.
This is where the Chiron energy lives.
Interesting. Okay.
This feeling. That feeling of like, nope, not going to touch it. Fuck that.
Absolutely.
Because that is where the emotion comes in.
Maybe.
And that is where your truth is.
Mm-hmm.
There's a part of you that maybe feels responsible or maybe feels like you coulda, shoulda, woulda, something happened. Something here that needs to transform. And you know what? It's going to.
Yeah.
But until you embrace that energy here, you're going to feel stuck. Once you embrace that energy, okay, and you let that go with love and open your heart to yourself again, then it's going to activate this Uranus energy, which is in your fourth house, which is connecting you to who you are at a deeper level, your roots. And this is on a more metaphysical plane, okay? When this happens, when you open up and activate this energy, it is going to allow you to sit in this vulnerable space here along with Mars. Mars is passion. Mars, let's fucking go get it, all right? Because on the flip side of that coin, of that pain with your brother, on the flip side is your massive passion to change the world, because you would never want anybody else to feel that feeling that you felt. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you are on a mission right now to discover yourself, but you have to be ready and willing to
get into the pain.
Not get into the pain. Basically, you have to go and face that demon within you and give it a hug and tell it it's going to be okay. Because that little demon that you feel right now is actually your inner child.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That is that part of you that is the creative expression, right? And without that creative expression, it's always going to be, this is what's going on out here. This is what is, everything is happening. And this is logical. This is their program, how it's done. So it has to work this way. And deep down in the background, the whole fucking time, you're just like, fuck, man, something's missing. I can't do it.
Yeah.
And it's gonna keep repeating itself. It's a pattern that will keep repeating itself until it builds up so much that you have no choice but to feel it and to face it.
Okay. There'll be another conversation.
Yes. I told you this is gonna get deep. So you also have Venus and Mercury here in your 8th house. So this is where Venus in Aries in 8th house. This is like very impulsive. Like, so people are probably like when they're coming to you, you know, it's like out of nowhere, like, hey, I want to get going, and then kind of fizzles out, right? Like you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
But with Mercury here, okay, Mercury is giving you the ability to communicate through that. So, but you know, I got to be honest, like these energies are gonna like sustain you and be carrying you through, but you're sort of on life support here until you face this energy. Like the shell has to crack. The shell has to crack open. And until you do that, you're still going to be in that place of lack of just life is just not really colorful.
Yeah.
You know, it's just sort of blah. But you know, we all have these things that, you know, I myself have gone through a couple stages of this. That's actually why I do what I do. So, you know, I get it. This is just, it's the journey of your soul. Oh shit, I just noticed this too. You have your moon and white moon Selena in the 2nd house, sets a quadrant over your Chiron. So you have a past life lesson here that you're learning.
Great.
In regards to your self-confidence. So I wouldn't be surprised if somebody comes in, maybe a Libra comes in to your life at some time in the next few months and really makes you question stuff. Makes you activates this vulnerable energy of Chiron within you. It's a past life, some kind of past life lesson is going to come in to activate this energy. Because I'll tell you what, like with Pluto and Saturn, like they're, you know, Saturn is station go direct today. Pluto is going direct on the 4th.
Okay.
Right. And these are all sextile to you, because your energy here is in Capricorn. So this stuff is, in the next couple months, this stuff's going to be coming up.
Heavy shit.
Well, it might be, but I think that when this stuff does come through, it does come out, like you're going to be so grateful, so happy, and feel so much more connected to yourself.
I think, well, it's definitely getting to that, well, working towards that point, just the daily work, and, you know, it's the practice what you preach. And it's like the stuff I used to like do already. Like I used to write all the affirmations. I talked about this once before. I used to write all the affirmations, and I used to like read all the books and like, you know, all that shit, but it never really, it was just like empty words. So now when I'm doing it now it's resonating more. Okay. Which is great.
Yeah. So. Absolutely. All right. Progress, absolutely. Oh, wow. I just noticed this too. Your ascendant right now is at 0 degrees of Virgo. So Virgo represents purification or purity. Virgo is the original virgin. Okay. Right? 0 degrees is the void space. It literally is like zeroing out everything, like the reset. Mm-hmm. So with your progressed chart at 0 degrees of Virgo, you are literally being reborn right now. Yeah, and with Mars retrograde, once Mars goes direct, that's going to activate this energy in a pretty big way. It's quincunx over Neptune here. So, have you ever done any like inner child work?
No.
No, like QHHT or hypnosis or anything like that?
No. I did guided hypnosis, like therapy, last year, but it wasn't about like my inner child or anything like that.
I have someone I'm going to send you to.
Cool.
Okay. So.
Is that going to make me cry too?
More than likely, yeah. But actually, you have a pretty tough outer shield.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and that's not good or bad, but just you got to ask yourself, like, how's that working for you?
Not well. It's funny because when you mentioned my brother, and when my brother moved away years ago, I can remember the moment when I like started crying, and he's like, crying's not gonna help. Crying's not gonna fix anything. So I just remember going like, I think that was the moment where she's like, crying. It really is like crying doesn't help.
Okay.
That's like I think when you're talking about that, like there was a moment there where I'm like, that's a moment that I can remember that was like life defining in a sense. But yeah.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't cry from when I can remember when I was a kid up until 30 years old. The first time I cried, I remember I was in Iraq.
Oh, really?
And I just got done with a huge mission, and everything went fucking sideways, and almost lost a couple guys. And I had all this shit coming at me, and I broke down. I cried like snots, like the ugly, cry like for a long time. And ultimately, it was really healthy. It was really good for me. But I think you need a good cry.
I've had a few.
Eventually.
They're coming out in like little waves here.
No, yeah, you had a couple little ones, but you need the ugly cry.
The ugly cry?
You need the ugly cry. Yeah. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and check this out. If you're interested in getting your Chiron ascension process energy reading done, go to spiritualbodybuilder.com, or you can go to my Instagram and click on the link. It's spiritual_bodybuilder. I love you guys very much. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Peace.